Melbourne City versus the Newcastle Jets. And the prize for each of these two sides, if you can avoid injury on the terrace, is a place in the top six as we approach the midway point of the campaign. Our two sides are in the tunnel. You can see them there on the Isuzu UTE tunnel cam. They've met already once this season. It was just over a month ago. A 1-0 victory to Melbourne City in Newcastle, courtesy of Kavian Rahmani's lone strike. He's missing today with the knee injury. So are two more Jets players, unfortunately, who suffered serious injuries last time. It's the 44th meeting between these two sides, and as of late, it's the away sides that have had the wood on the home team. 5 away wins and 2 draws in the last 7 matches. The last home win in this fixture came back in February 2022. Melbourne City 3-0 winners. So that could suggest that, like they did last year, the Jets could do well here. A guard of honour, a special one for our two sides this afternoon, by members of All Inclusive Life, an NDIS which creates and runs events for people in the community with disabilities. So they are very welcome to Amy Park as well. Fantastic to see the community spirit at Amy Park for this one. As we have a look at the two sides, 2 changes for Aurelio Vidmar's Melbourne City. Samuel Suprayon, who was rested in midweek, comes back in the centre of defence alongside Herman Ferreira. The midfield is unchanged. Truan, Kuhn and Schreiber. The second change is up front, where the league's joint top scorer, Max Caputo, is dropped despite getting the only goal of the game against Brisbane. Andrew Naboot returns up front. And for Andy Naboot, 33 years of age, he had his birthday just late in December. He is looking to equal the number of goals he scored for the Newcastle Jets, where he got 18 in 48 appearances in all competitions. It's taken a little bit longer, and there have been some serious injuries along the way as well. But Andy Naboot, who just brought up his 200th A-League match recently, and that was celebrated pre-match here today as well. Well, for the Newcastle Jets, former Melbourne City goalkeeper James Delianoff is between the posts. The first of 3 changes for Mark Milligan's team comes at the back. Daniel Wilmering returns from injury for Lockie Bayliss, while Joe Shaughnessy comes in for the suspended Max Cooper. Will Dobson is also back for Alex Badalato, whose season is over, as is Christian Brackos. And special mention for Oscar Fryer as well, the third of those ACL injuries for the Jets this season, working his way back. Up front, Eli Adams, Lockie Rose and Clayton Taylor leading the line in attack. And for the former MacArthur striker, Lockie Rose, 8 goals last season for the Jets. He's got 5 this term, one of 8 players at the top of the scoring charts. And he got the winner here in this one, a 1-0 victory for the Jets at Amy Park. One of just 4 away wins for them in history, but as we said, away wins are the order of the day at the moment in this fixture. Nearly 4 years since a home winner. There is Aurelio Vidmar, legend of the game in Australia. Adelaide boy, represented the Socceroos, as did that man. 80 caps for Mark Milligan, so a battle of the former Socceroos, who has done wonders with the Jets so far. Our referee is Casey Rybelt. In the middle, she's being assisted by Emma Kotzbank and Luke Genemalis. Puya Gadrian is the 4th official. And in the VAR room, Sam Kelly and Brad Wright. Well, it's been another spectacular, unpredictable round of matches in the Isuzu UTE A-League, and there's nothing to suggest that the next 90 minutes or so will be any different. The countdown is on, and we're all set. Fantastic conditions for football. Sunny, a light breeze, and 17 degrees in Melbourne. Melbourne City versus the Newcastle Jets, the champions versus the entertainers. And I'm not sure which of those 2 titles is the hardest to acquire. Aurelio Vidmar's side, they are the best resource team in the competition, looking to go back-to-back in the championship against Mark Milligan's Baby Jets, the youngest side by nearly 2 years on average for starting 11 in the competition. And they have been scoring goals for fun as of late, and also conceding them. Eric Partaloo, the first meeting between the two ended 1-0. Suggests anything but that could happen today. Early cross and an early chance for Clayton Taylor, and it started just as we suspected it might.
Robbie, hello. Perfect evening for football here, and it's a fast start, as you can expect from the Jets. They love scoring inside the first 15 minutes or so of the game. It's just that penetration, an overlapping run, and getting numbers into the box. We've been so accustomed to seeing Mark Milligan's men starting sharply, and it's no different here.
Eli Adams with the first corner to the back post. Good ball as well. Shaughnessy, the Irishman, was there. And it's going to be a second corner in quick succession.
Well, they've got to be careful of Shaughnessy. Just his 8th appearance in the competition, and playing at the back now just adds that bit of steel, bit more grunt from set pieces, and they can utilise his height.
Here's Wilmering, who's had a really good season so far. He's missed the last 2 games with injury. Back in from Adams to the back post, where Shaughnessy is again. The Argentine Ferreira winning the first ball, as is Bajic. Sees it out of play. City with the chance to settle things. Neither of these two sides have scored from a corner yet this season, and while the Jets are the top scorers in the league with 23 goals so far, always Lockie Rose has robbed Ferreira. Now Clayton Taylor loses out to Schreiber. The Jets have it straight back again though. Wilmering, Grozos, Natta, Max Burgess. Clayton Taylor looking for the back heel. City have it back, but not for long. It is a bright start. And a little bit frantic at the moment. Neither side able to really put their foot on the ball.
Well, both sides like to keep the ball, Robbie. Number 1, number 2 for the most passes in the competition. You can expect a lot of that, but Melbourne City will persist from trying to play out from the back, but maybe against this Jets side, it's the last team that you want to try that against.
Andreas Kuhn with Emin Jurakovic. Emin Jurakovic starting his 3rd match on the bounce. The teenager, son of Aurelio Vidmar's former Socceroos teammate, Mehmet Jurakovic. Kai Truan's pass was a little bit loose. Ferreira dealt with it. And now, after a good opening couple of minutes for Newcastle, it's Melbourne City who can put their foot on the ball. Suprayon with Kuhn and Bajic. Plenty of experience in this Melbourne City side, especially when you compare it to Mark Milligan's team. I was speaking to a couple of the security here at Amy Park just before kick-off, and they said when the Jets got off the bus, they were wondering if they were the half-time kick-around kids. They look so young.
Well, they're going to have energy, and that's what's required to play in that Mark Milligan philosophy that we've seen. Here they are again, winning the ball high up the pitch.
Here's Adams, hits it. It's a good strike as well, and it went through the fingers of Patrick Beach, who managed just to get it around the post for a corner.
We know he can hit them from distance, and he's got that technique. The ball doesn't move a lot, and Beach maybe wasn't set properly. He gets very lucky. Those 2 hands maybe not together.
He scored an absolutely outstanding free kick in the 5-4 loss to MacArthur a couple of weeks ago. Back post again, looking for Shaughnessy. Ferreira did well that time. Wilmering under pressure from Mehmeti. Has a throw for the Jets with captain Grozos. Now Max Burgess, who gets through a mountain of work, who is without his compere in that attacking midfield role, Alex Badalato. Wilmering with Clayton Taylor. Grozos just dummied out of it. Bertolicio back to Shaughnessy.
That's how you defend. Aziz Bayic, he knows all too well how to go and press somebody at the right time, and that was the best example you can ask for. Go out and make sure that Eli Adams couldn't turn, couldn't get an early touch, and it's played with such intensity. Melbourne City have to go long when they're under pressure.
That time it was Kai Truan that went long. Shaughnessy or Mark Natter that time conceding the throw. But already both sides showing they're very comfortable in possession, as Eric Partalou just said, the two best passing sides in the competition. It's something of a rarity these days. A few of the A-League sides don't mind being without the ball, playing a very direct game. But it means you have to get things right, because when you force your opponents to sit back, compact and defend in numbers, it's not easy to break them down.
Yeah, and Ferreira's getting close to making 1,000, which is the most in the competition, and you can say, oh, that's all in his own half, but actually Melbourne City have 4 players in the top 10 for passes in the opponent's half, and you know, Bayic, Truan, Ferreira and Kuhn, there's your passes going forward in the right areas.
Schreiber back with Atkinson. Nice one-touch football. Here's Mehmeti. Kuhn's at the back post. Oh, the cutback was for Naboot. It will end up being with Kai Truan. Now Jurakovic with Kuhn. First time ball back for Jurakovic. It might yet fall for Medin Mehmeti. Daniel Wilmering sliding in and getting it clear, and the Jets will have the throw. They survive their first scare of the afternoon.
I'm just not sure that was the right option. Made a great run, Andreas Kuhn, through the middle, and perhaps he thought he straight into an offside position, Mehmeti, and looked for that cutback, but they've got their tails up here, Melbourne City.
Atkinson trying to barge his way through. James Delianov, who arrived this season from Adelaide. And it would be a bit rough to suggest that he's conceded all 23 goals. He's been the goalkeeper, but it's been the style of play from the Jets as well, and also assimilating the style of play, looking for that consistency. They've conceded by far the most goals of any side this term, as Aziz Bayic has stayed down. Plenty of complaints from the City bench just in front of where that tackle took place as well.
Yeah, Eli Adams just trying to get close to his counterpart there. Aziz Bayic has had his number early on. Bit of experience, and he's just trying to demonstrate with Casey Rybelt there that he was going for the ball.
He did keep the studs down as well. He's not a nasty player, Eli Adams, by any stretch.
How do you know?
Well, from watching him play. Here is Jurakovic. Gets there, and that's a good ball back inside towards Kuhn. Truan with the follow-up. Clayton Taylor's glancing header, only as far as Atkinson. City with a good opportunity here to apply some of that pressure. Their win against Brisbane ended a run of 4 without victory for the defending champions. Max Caputo header in the 11th minute. This is their 6th consecutive match at Amy Park in the league. They've got one more, Auckland, next Friday, before they're back on the road. Dobson. Jurakovic winning it back momentarily. It's been a real mixed bag so far for the Jets. 6 wins, 5 wins, 6 defeats so far. A win today will square that ledger and also see them climb as high as 4th place above Melbourne City in the standings.
Yeah, it's that win or bust mentality. I was speaking to Nick Stavroulakis before the game, the assistant coach of the Newcastle Jets, and that's exactly how they want to play. They're not going to sit back and soak up pressure. They're going to double down, if anything else, and continue to play forward at all costs. So it's an exciting season to watch, but it can also be maybe a frustrating one getting towards the end of the season when they've could have picked up a couple of results from being a bit more conservative, but that's boring, according to them.
Mark Milligan's side, they only know one way at the moment. And to be fair, considering where they've been the last few years, even if under Robbie Stanton they did show that in patches they could get the results they needed to compete higher up the table, but they did miss finals. They went through periods without managing to trouble scorers or get wins, but they could set a club record here today if they make it 4 away wins in a row, something they have never done. One of the foundation clubs of the A-League men's competition. The trick will be that the game is being played in Australia, because their last 3 away wins have all come in New Zealand. 2 against Auckland and 1 against Wellington Phoenix.
And Lockie Rose, 4 out of his 5 goals have come in New Zealand, so he loves playing there. There's had some great results, and you've only got to look at who they've actually beaten this year. That tells you they are title contenders still. And as you see Melbourne City playing out from the back here, the Jets have managed to score multiple goals in 7 games, and 4 games scored 3 or more. They're goal-scoring machines, it's simple as that.
The header from Truan. Surely Nabut is in an offside position. There, the flag does go up eventually. Wilmering was across well in cover.
Well, I'd love to see Andrew Nabut playing through the middle. I think there is some call for him to play a little bit more central more often. He has that goal-scoring knack. He knows where the back of the net is. He only got the 1 goal this season. You're expecting more from him.
Here's Bayich back to Beach. And that goal was just a consolation in that match against Perth, where Perth really stunned Melbourne City here at Amy Park, running out 3-1 winners. And there's no backup ball there in between the 2 dugouts. So a little pause before Joel Bertolicio can take this one with Max Burgess. Gets it back unintentionally, Burgess. Now Grozos. They're playing it in very tight little areas, but immediate applause from Mark Milligan, who's going to get the ball himself. His former Socceroos teammate there, as is Bayich. That's the tempo Mark Milligan wants games played at as well, whether it's home or away. Always keep the ball in play as much as possible. Keep things moving.
Well, a big loss, as you said before, Robbie, is the loss of Alex Badalata. And it's a huge loss because he's been in charge of so many things going forward, going backwards. He's that energy driver in the middle of the park, and it now rests on the shoulders of Dobson. Burgess with that forward thrust to get forward, but it also means that Costa Grozos has to maybe do a little bit more work as well. Everybody's going to have to chip in because he's one of those players you cannot replace, I think.
Nice touch from Bayich, but Eli Adams was watchful, and then he just tricked himself into a corner and played it out. Grozos. You think you've won the ball back, and suddenly there's another Melbourne City player coming from a different angle. You can't afford to dally in possession. Herrera, as you can hear, thought that was his ball.
Pretty much back to full strength at the back line for Melbourne City, would you say, Robbie? Suprayan and Ferreira playing there. Bonetti on the bench now. So that competition coming back in for Melbourne City at the right time for places where, you know, they've had 3-0 all draws this campaign. They've held the back line extremely well. Got so many clean sheets. It's 7 now as well. It's just the goal scoring form in that front line, and that's probably why we've seen Max Caputo getting a rest on the bench. She did score the winner, but they need better options up top, I think, Melbourne City.
Aurelio Vidmar has made comment several times in recent weeks that Caputo isn't doing necessarily the work they want back to goal, in holding up play and bringing others in, and perhaps in the pressing as well, and that defensive role that he has to play, because we know Andrew Naboot is very well versed in the counter press as well. It was almost a breakthrough. That's where Newcastle are so dangerous in those counter-attacking moments, even if they also love to knock the ball around. They have great movement, but they just commit so many numbers forward. It's that whole Ange Postecoglou risk and reward. You go for it, you put numbers forward, and occasionally you are going to get caught out. But the idea is to hold on to the ball to score goals.
Well, both Nick Stavroulakis and Mark Milligan played under Ange Postecoglou. There are similarities, but of course they picked up a lot of things along the way, and it's fascinating watching a young team playing with a high tempo. But the question always remains is how long can you do that for in a game? And if you don't take advantage of that as well, it becomes even more stretched. The game becomes bigger, and a good team like a Melbourne City or an Auckland, you would have thought Auckland would have had that measure, just to wait for that right moment to see the gaps forming. But they certainly showed Auckland over 2 games. Newcastle Jets.
They've also beaten Sydney FC 2-0 recently as well. They also lost 4-1 to Sydney FC. They beat Melbourne victory 5-2. There have been some great solid results along the way, as well as the flamboyant 5-4s and 3-1s and 3-2s. When matches have ended up getting really high scoring, apart from the 5-2, they've often been on the receiving end as well. With those knee injuries, along with the likes of Alex Shushnyar leaving the club just before the end of the year, I mean, numbers are quite light on the ground as well. It's not a huge squad. We have a couple of players on the bench today that could be making A-League debuts. The reserve goalkeeper Alex Nassib is there. Lucas Cicluna, the brother of Dylan Cicluna, has played at the Mariners as the flag stays down for now. Delianov comes and punches, and now the flag goes up. That's another one where players can get injured when they play on, despite the offside flag.
You read my mind. It was clearly an offside run there. Kuhn wanted that earlier, actually, trying to play that past Cyprian. Good line from Newcastle Jets, but anything can happen from that situation, and luckily that everybody's still got their front teeth there. Kuhn checks his arm. Love to see him make those runs, though.
Such a dangerous player and a tricky player as well. He's got a great engine. Natta back to Delianov, and very coolly done. Straight back again, creating the space. Taylor with the touch. Rose for Burgess, on to Wilmering now. You can see the gold shirt streaming forward, but the pass wasn't good enough, and then Burgess has challenged, and they've won the corner off Atkinson.
Yeah, good recovery from Melbourne City, because when the Newcastle Jets face forward and they get numbers going forward, they are very difficult to stop. Just took a slight touch there.
There's Burgess again. That's a good touch from Schreiber, but Burgess alert to the danger. There's a crossing cover. Verdelisio again. Shaughnessy, and now Grozos. Kavian Rahmani hurt his knee in the 0-0 draw with Sydney FC a week ago. That's a good ball. Taylor for Burgess. Now Eli Adams, we've already seen the shot he has. He has to keep his eye on the ball. Taking on Bajic. Well defended again, corner.
He's definitely inside his head. Aziz Bajic with those early challenges on Eli Adams just makes him double guess or double think what he's going to do. It's Burgess playing a nice pass out, and Eli Adams just couldn't get it started. Tried to go at him, and he had support there. Aziz Bajic. There were a few blue shirts around him.
Already a fifth corner, near post this time from Eli Adams, having gone back post the previous two from this side.
We have seen an Olympico in this round. Tom Lawrence last night for Perth. That would have been a strange one there, though, the near post.
Have to hit it a little bit harder. You need pace to go near post, curl to go back post. If you are doing it intentionally at all, which Tom Lawrence admitted post-match last night that he was actually trying to do something completely different as the ball curled inside past Andrew Redmayne. It was a 3-0 scoreline last night for Perth Glory over the Mariners earlier today. Wellington Phoenix 2-2 with Adelaide in the classic match of two halves, with the wind in Wellington playing a big factor. Sydney 3-0 winners over Macarthur. Western Sydney 1-0 victors over Melbourne. Victory here last night, and on Friday night Auckland were too good for a very busy and beleaguered Brisbane Roar. And another entertaining match, mind you, with plenty of goalmouth action for both sides. Atkinson and Bajic standing over this one. Everyone lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Pereira and Suprayon just in offside positions. It is Bajic. Suprayon with the header off the post. Pereira with the follow-up. Delianov punches, and Newcastle survive for now at least. It may come straight back again. Kai Truin settles things with Schreiber. Well, Samuel Suprayon returning to the side, and he really wasn't far away there from a first goal of the season.
Well, how good is Aziz Bajic? His free kicks this season, going direct for goal, putting deliveries in. We all know he's got quality, but that delivery in the set piece can be so lethal, and it almost was there.
Now Jurakovic with Bajic again. Kai Truin with the French defender Suprayon in his third season at Melbourne City. Turning away from Lockie Rose and asking Suprayon where the options were ahead of him. Good challenge, Wilmering. Won it back high up the pitch. Clayton Taylor, a little touch for Wilmering. Rose going to the back post. Fantastic ball and brilliant save from the young Socceroo goalkeeper Patrick Beach. It looked a certain goal for the Jets. Denied by City's keeper.
Just quality football all round. Wilmering puts on the afterburners, and Taylor just slips him in, and it's first time football. Inch perfect for Lockie Rose inside the box, but that's a massive save from Patrick Beach, the clean sheet king.
What an opportunity for Lockie Rose to get his 6th goal of the season. Well, that just tells you how hard it's going to be, and also explains why they've had 7 clean sheets so far this season. Naboot, no way past Natta. And then the flag is up again for offside. It's been allowed to go a long time.
There's that chance there from Suprayon, and maybe got caught in the sun, maybe it didn't, but it hit the posts. The delivery, bend it like Bajic. So good from those set pieces.
Dobson, is there a foul? There is. So another chance for Newcastle to get some numbers forward and force City back. Has to be taken from where Casey Rybelt deems the foul. Now Shaughnessy chipping it forward towards Eli Adams. There was a bit of holding on there from both players, I think. There's a hand from Jurakovic. Still play continues. Burgess. Now Nata. Well, he's looking to straighten up for Daniel Wilmering there. What a save from the 22-year-old Patrick Beach, spreading himself low to his left to deny Lockie Rose. Look at the work Lockie Rose gets through as well. Oh, the touch from Schreiber, giving it away. Here's Dobson, quick exchange of passes. Dobson now, Clayton Taylor. Taylor still going. Got the better of Ferreira. The back heel out. And City can look to break now. Great counter press from Newcastle. Oh, and another risky ball. Nathaniel Atkinson that time. It's hit Aziz Bayic in the face, and I think more than anything, he wants his side to get organised. The captain.
Well, sometimes it's unnecessary to put yourself under that amount of pressure when the Newcastle Jets are facing forward and getting forward. And it's a sore one for Aziz because he didn't know much about that one. But Newcastle Jets, they had the least amount of crosses in the competition, and they've only scored one goal from a header. That was Oscar Fryer, and you can see why. That's how they play. Get forward, create a quality opportunity, put it along the ground, inside the 6-yard box. They've scored a lot of goals from that range, but Patrick Beach, just amazing.
Brilliant stuff from the Socceroo. Let's head down to the sidelines where Tim Morgan is with us this afternoon. Tim, what can you tell us? Fantastic, thank you, Tim. Yes, I can see exactly that. There are balls everywhere along the sidelines now. There was clearly some little mix-up in the pre-game. Now, Bertolicio. Adams. Overlapping run from Burgess. Bertolicio again with Dobson. They're so confident, the Jets, and Dobson has managed to hook it back around, but it's just beaten him out of play.
Aziz Bayic trying to get back onto the pitch. They're good to watch, though. The away side, they're really exciting when they get into full flow. And just the intensity in which they're pressing Melbourne City is outstanding. It starts with Lockie Rose, and then they all decide to join in. And Melbourne City have got the courage to keep playing.
There's going to be another offside. They're really trying to play him behind. Andrew Naboot is dispossessed by Nader, and now the flag goes up again. We were right in line with that one. It was clearly offside. He wasn't the only one either, Naboot, Andreas Kuhn, but that's the game plan at the moment.
Just a little bit off with the timing, but a great line from Newcastle Jets, and it's very difficult to hold one when you've got a speedster like Naboot, but he has to maybe start from a different position and arc his run. It's very difficult to play one over the top. A straight pass for a straight run, it doesn't always work out.
Long ball for Adams, just trying to nudge Bayic out of the way. Lockie Rose likewise. Grozos has just given that straight to Andreas Kuhn. Another loose pass out of midfield, though, from City, to the exasperation of Aurelio Vidmar on the sideline, throwing his arms up in the air. Now Clyde Truant, Naboot, Kuhn, and Bertolicio does well. Can't prevent the corner, though.
Trying to play it quickly, Melbourne City. 1 and 2 touch, and that's how they've got to try and get Andrew Nabbout in the box, unmarked, in an onside position. But it's another corner for Melbourne City.
And Jurakovic, who also has a great left foot. There's no shortage of set-piece deliverers in this City lineup. Schreiber. Jurakovic again. Whips it in near post. Wilmering's header. Clayton Taylor. Tries to win it back. Atkinson there as well with Cohen. Just overplaying things a little bit there, City now. Eli Adams guilty of the same thing. And City have it back. Schreiber. Suprayon gets it back from Nathaniel Atkinson. Here's Jurakovic. Kai Trewin. As is Bajic has just momentarily found himself on the right flank and was about to make another one of those runs that he makes so often down the left. Ferreira. Now he finds Bajic. Schreiber. Looking for Mehmeti. Well defended again from Wilmering. 3 shots apiece in the match so far, just past the half hour. For the Newcastle Jets, 3 shots on target, opposed to none so far for Melbourne City. So you won't be surprised to hear that the Jets are the most accurate shooters in the league and have the best shot-to-goal conversion compared to Melbourne City, who are right down the other end. Only Brisbane Roar and the Western Sydney Wanderers have scored fewer goals than Melbourne City this season. City looking to get forward down that left-hand side, the Aziz Bajic side of the field.
It's just started to settle now, Robbie, the game. I think that urgency in the press, the urgency in the passing for Newcastle Jets is now turned into, can we defend against Melbourne City? Are we doing the right things? Are we in the right positions? And when Aziz Bajic is going from one side to the other, you know that City have more than just one card up their sleeve. And that's the thing when you've got a young team that wants to go and step in and push on that front foot. There will be gaps. And if you're good enough, you can find that space and play into it.
Nabbout with Atkinson. Ferreira. Patrick Beach with Jurakovic. Well defended Nato, good ball for Taylor, but Atkinson very quick to close down. That's well played from Jurakovic. He's got Bajic outside him. Here is Aziz Bajic, Nabbout ahead of him. Good ball, first time cross. Flag stays down this time, so it'll be another corner.
That was better, much better timing. Playing Andrew Nabbout in early and allowing him to get forward, and then there was numbers in the box going and supporting. That's really important for Melbourne City. If Nabbout is out wide, somebody's got to be inside the box.
Look out for Samuel Suprayon, who comes forward. In it comes, near post. Can't beat Eli Adams. Schreiber back with Jurakovic. Now Bajic. Suprayon, that's a really difficult ball, but Nabbout's done well to get that to Schreiber. Here's Atkinson. Plenty to aim for in the middle. A little touch for Kai Trewin. Max Burgess with a little bit of muscle. Wins it back. The young kids in the crowd really enjoying getting to the A-League. Probably enjoying the fact it's not 43 degrees as well at the moment, which it has been in Melbourne recently, as well as up in Sydney. Terrible fires across Victoria as well. Mehmeti's header for Grozos. Again, it's a little bit rushed, looking for Rose, who you know will run and close down and keep going. Grozos inadvertently playing that one towards Jurakovic. Bertolicio does well. Delianov back long. Be a really thankless task sometimes for Lockie Rose, just chasing these balls forward again. Clayton Taylor was taking off that time.
A lot of it's working for the sides because they are playing a high line. Melbourne City as well. There's not a lot of room once they win the ball or the ball gets contested in the middle. They haven't got time to bring it down, so they're looking for Nabbout, and he's not getting access to anything. They're looking for Lockie Rose. He's not getting access to anything, so it's out wide trying to find that space.
There you see another long ball forward. Shaughnessy's not the quickest, and Nabbout almost closed him down, but guess what? Offside. No surprise there, and Andrew Nabbout getting a little bit frustrated. That's the 5th offside against Melbourne City, and I think all 5 are Andrew Nabbout so far. Perhaps Andreas Kuhn got one. It's one for Eli Adams to chase. Neither side able to put any sort of semblance of control to this game at the moment. Good intensity and good pressure. Eli Adams, he creates a little bit of space with a nice first touch. Choose the easy option. Andreas Kuhn. He gives it straight back. Got a kick on the ankle from Costa Grozos, only just.
It's turnover central. Both sides guilty of just trying to play things. Costa Grozos getting stuck in on Kuhn, but the ball retention has been sharp and it's been good, positive forward passes, but sometimes you've got to come out and just keep it. Keep the ball rotating, keep it moving, maybe slow it down. Because if you continue to keep running around like that, that's exactly what happens. And then, you know, somebody lunges in with a stud.
It's a bit frantic. It's another back heel, which doesn't come off. We've seen plenty of them this afternoon as well. Here's Max Burgess. Shaughnessy with Bertolicio. Dobson's touch for Burgess. It was a good pass. Burgess needs to find an option and can't do so. This is the frustration at the moment.
And frustrating for Lockie Rose, as we pointed out, because he's not getting anything coming his way. And it's that one option to run in behind, stay on side, and try and run into the channel. But that's the job as a number 9 sometimes. You've got to just wait for those movements and those angles. You don't touch the ball, you're doing a lot of running as well.
Here's Beach. Ferreira. Atkinson. Shriver coming short, looking for those little 1-2s we've seen a number of times, but it's been picked off again. Atkinson helping out Zane Shriver. Hi, Truan. Under pressure, very nicely done from the Socceroo. Here's Mehmeti now with Jurakovic. Good pace on that ball. Can they make something of it? Bertolicio did ever so well. He left his position there. Dobson for Bertolicio. Straightens up now with Burgess. Oh, there was a little movement from Taylor at the back post, but he couldn't find him. Nabbout finds Kuhn. Andy Nabbout Now charging through the middle, Andreas Kuhn. He's got Mehmeti as well. The ball for Mehmeti. Oh, brilliant save. And the boot's offside. Fantastic stop from Delianov to deny Medin Mehmeti a first goal of this campaign. Well, we've seen two outstanding saves this afternoon. One at either end from Patrick Beach and now James Delianov.
That looks for all money to be going in the back of the net for Melbourne City. It's a great run from Kuhn, and the cutback there, the boot.
Well, hang on.
Borderline in that position. I'm sure VAR are going to have a look at it. Was a body part not in line with Nutter as the ball struck. Hard to see from this angle. Well, they will be looking at this one.
Well, how cruel is that going to be for James Delianov? Let's have a look. I reckon he's onside. There's also Eli Adams at this near post as well, who may have been keeping him on. It's all a question of timing. Andy Naboot's seen it on the big screen. And he might have got his 18th goal for Melbourne City, equalising the tally that he got in just 48 matches for the Newcastle Jets. A rich vein of scoring form that saw him head to the World Cup in Russia with the Socceroos. VAR will have to draw up the lines to check it. To the naked eye, it looked clearly offside, but that just shows you how important VAR can be. Well, even if it's not offside or it is offside, it shows you just how close it was.
Well, I completely missed Eli Adams as well, and that's the hardest thing. You don't see that in a split second, and bodies are moving one way and the boot's moving the other. We'll have a look at it again. It's Kuhn finding that cutback there, and it's just, well, I think it's just Nutter we're looking at there, right? It's going to have to be in line, but I'm sure more than half his body is maybe in an offside position. You draw those lines up, Robbie, it's going to be close.
Well, we can tell how close it is by just how long it's taking. Down on the sidelines, it's a waiting game as well. Mark Milligan's out having a chat with Aziz Bayic. Casey Rybelt waiting. Now, we have been told it's a matter of absolutely millimetres. It's the fine lines that can decide matches. We saw the Wanderers end their losing streak, their winless run, with a penalty goal against Melbourne Victory here last night. Oh, and it is offside. Well, there's one player in particular who can be very happy about that, and that's James Delianov, because that was an outstanding save then. And Andrew Naboot has to wait. Now let's have a look. There it is.
Must be the hand or the foot of Andrew Naboot. The boot of Naboot.
Well, there you see it. The heel of Natta and the right foot of Andrew Naboot.
When you see it in real time, it looked very offside. And this is the case in point of having VAR, because it looked for all money that was offside, play on, get on with it. And actually...
Which would have been right.
It would have, still would have been right, yeah.
Well, there's also the argument that that is so close that neither player was really aware of it, but offside is offside.
Well, I'll tell you what it will do, Robbie. It's just going to light a fire under Andrew Naboot even more now. He's been frustrated with offsides. He's been frustrated not getting that goal. He's the A-League's Hulk. Don't get him angry, because he'll go and score.
Andreas Kuhn denied a fourth assist of the campaign as well. It would have been some assist as well. It was a brilliant ball for Medin Mehmeti. Lockie Rose bundled over by Ferreira. Yaya Dakuli and Juan Mata each have 4 assists for the moment. 3 minutes of stoppage time. There we see the foul on Kai Truant. Melbourne City have found goals hard to come by. Just one per match. It's not easy to win a championship when you're only averaging a goal a match. It means basically you have to keep 26 clean sheets to win the games. Here is Eli Adams, no foul against Bajic. Adams, ball back post, was looking for Taylor. Wilmering, who'd come inside. And a good thing he had for Newcastle. Continues his run. Back out to the left. Dobson, through the legs of Naboot. Grozos. Ball outside for Wilmering. First time cross. Clayton Taylor in the area. Here's Dobson. Wilmering. Taylor. It's very tight. It's got to be precise. Wilmering, the early cross. That was clever. And can't find Lockie Rose. But again, great improvisation from the Jets in those tight little areas. They're a really attractive side to watch. For the moment, and it hasn't been the case so far this season, they're just lacking that little bit of efficiency in front of goal. And it's not easy to carve out chances against Melbourne City. There was Medin Mehmeti was looking for Atkinson. He was looking to run in behind. It's been a really even contest so far. Delianov with Natter again. Long. And this time it's Rose that's pushed out of it. He's claiming there was an elbow. Beach. He goes long. Shaughnessy. Cohen gets it back from Bajic. The 3 minutes are up, and referee Casey Rybelt says that will do it. Andrew Naboot in his 204th A-League match was so close to finding the breakthrough just before half-time, to be ruled out for an offside position, just a matter of millimetres at most. Before then, Samuel Soupriant had hit the post, and Lockie Rose had been denied by a fantastic Patrick Beach save. The goalkeepers and defences on top at Amy Park, scoreless between City and the Jets at the break.
It is time to kick off the half-time break.
We're heading off to a very quick break. We will be back at Amy Park with the half-time show, so don't go away.
dangerous activities. It is an offence for any spectator to enter the field of play without authorisation. Any spectator that enters the field of play without authorisation will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to police for further questioning. A financial fine may also be issued. The APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone, and we ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining in the safety line. Are you Australia's safest driver? All Aussie drivers 18 years and over can take the AAMI driving test now for your chance to win big prizes. Follow the QR code below for your chance to win. For full terms and conditions, see aami.com.au/AAMI driving test.
There's so many things I love about football. The way it brings people together.
We all play the same language of football.
It's just sweat that fills your eyes.
And I think that this could be a really special tournament for us.
When you unite together for that one goal, it's something special that you just cannot get anywhere else.
Cara Cooney cross, thinks about the long shot and she finds it! And it's special! Huge moment for the Matildas.
The only place to see the Combank Matildas and every game of the AFC Asian Cup is on Paramount Plus.
Say hello to the Ninja Slushie, the easy
the Patrick Beach gift pack will take it home. All right, guys, are you ready? All right, Dominic, in 3, 2, 1, away you go. Let's see how good he is. Oh, it's just been watered here at Amy Park as well. Okay, even if it goes out of play, I tell you what, this could be a really good effort. Okay, he's not listening. Right, let's follow here. This is Dominic's football, which is 1, 2, 2.5. Let's go with that. And then in the goal here, we have Simon's football. 1.
And it's 2 for victory. What a header. Nikos Vergos has thundered it in.
Joe Lolly in possession. Lolly still going. He doesn't need any help. Joe Lolly, Sydney FC's man of the moment.
When you invest with eToro, you start seeing investors everywhere. You see, eToro really is everywhere.
So more than 40 million people worldwide invest anytime, anywhere with eToro.
Live at your home level.
Newcastle in the Maccas half-time Euro shootouts at the moment. I'm here with Tanner, is that correct? Yeah. Tanner's here. Who's your favourite Melbourne City player? Why do you like Patrick Beach, Tanner? What's your favourite thing about him? He's very generous with his time, isn't he? Look, Tanner, you are wearing a Melbourne City Football School top as well. What's your favourite thing about playing football? If you turn around, you can see Melbourne City warming up. You are out here in the middle of Amy Park at the moment. Is it a dream of yours one day to maybe be playing in the A-League as well? A professional footballer one day.
Welcome back to Amy Park, where we've had two outstanding moments of goalkeeping in the opening 45 minutes. Patrick Beach there to deny LA Rose, and then Medin Mehmeti denied by a flying James Delianov. Andrew Naboot ever so marginally in an offside position for the follow-up. But it's the goalkeepers on top at the moment. This one is scoreless at the break. Our two sides are back out on the field of play. No changes to either side. Andrew Naboot, who's given that central striking role ahead of the league's joint top scorer, Max Caputo, who starts on the bench for the second time in 3 matches. There is James Delianov, who has conceded 23 goals so far this season, just the 1 clean sheet for him compared to the 7 for Patrick Beach. But he showed in that first half that he does have a spectacular save in his locker. It is the Jets that will get this second half underway, looking for an all-time club record in the A-League of 4 consecutive away wins. Their previous 3, and their only 3 away wins this season, have all come in New Zealand in the last month and a bit. They thought they had an early corner, Eric Partaloo, but none given. But both sides have to do a little bit more in attack to try and get an opening in this one.
Yeah, they do. It's been a tale of the 2 goalkeepers, really, but both sides persisting to play out from the back, and it's really intriguing to watch this unfold because both sides have coughed up chances from doing so, and how long will it be before somebody puts it in the back of the net? But neither team want to take a backward step, and I think that's the most positive thing to take away from that first half.
Naboot with plenty of numbers forward. Mehmeti dealt with by Natta. Here comes Atkinson. Is he tripped? Yes, by Daniel Wilmering. It was unintentional, I think. No, the yellow card has come out, so clearly Casey Rybelt feels that that one was a professional foul, if you like. He's still pleading his innocence there. Oh, Daniel Wilmering.
Mark Milligan can't believe it. I'd love to see just before that. I'm sure he had eyes for the ball, and it looked a long time after if there was contact for the legs to be clipped of Atkinson. Either way, it's a smart one from Nathaniel Atkinson to get Melbourne City this opportunity.
As is Bajic coming and having a word to Emin Jurakovic, who's gone and passed on a message to Medin Mehmeti, I think. So it is Jurakovic, it is Mehmeti. Well, I think that was the word. And as is Bajic just telling Mehmeti, glance it, get a glance on it.
Yeah, too much Vegemite on that one for Mehmeti. Just needed to head it down or let it go. He's quite a distance away from trying to score, but when you see something in the air as tasty as what Bajic has been putting in there, you just want to put your head on it.
Wilmering can't control. Ferreira all the way back to Beach. The presence of Samuel Suprayon also brings an extra layer of stability at the back for City. And now they can try and break forward with Jurakovic down that left-hand side. Jurakovic, the cross is a good one. Oh, so close to an own goal. Mark Natta with the decisive touch across the face of goal, taking it away from the attackers.
Well, that's where you want to put it, in the avenue of apprehension. Right there, Nutter just gets a little touch on this one. It was moving all over the place. He's so lucky that didn't go in his own net.
The corner for Jurakovic, who delivered that telling cross. Near post, glancing header from Naboot. Taylor and Bajic straight back on the offensive, as is Bajic, blocked by Shaughnessy. Really bright start from both sides at the start of this second half, and while defences have been on top, it hasn't been for a lack of trying from either side. It's really been two sides trying to play positive football, that the defence is just too strong at the moment. Here's Kuhn. Chips it up towards Naboot, the punch from Delianov. City come again, Atkinson. Trying to just turn the screw here, City. Atkinson, that's nicely done, past Clayton Taylor. The cross, Natter there again. Kai Truan. Suprayon's turn to make a run forward. Jurakovic goes again. Max Burgess back helping out his defence at the moment. Unfortunately, it's just a little too tight. Dobson does well to steal in. Suprayon won't allow that to get away. That is a classic time for Samuel Suprayon to step in and produce one of those professional fouls. He's landed heavily on Dobson as well.
Yeah, it's got to hurt. Will Dobson there. And it's a big part of the game, isn't it? We've been mentioning it week after week about these sorts of professional fouls and how they're not all yellow cards, because it stops a promising attack, and it's frustrating to watch because teams know they can get away with it if they're cute enough.
Clayton Taylor, that's a good ball for Lockie Rose. Helps it on, Dobson. Dobson strike! It's hit the stanchion behind the goal. Bit of an optical illusion. Looked as though it was in, and then looked as though it bounced back off the post. Was neither.
I think Patrick Beach is beaten. It's a great little piece of striker's hold-up play from Lockie Rose. Hasn't had a lot to do, but he did everything right there, just to play it on. And it was a good strike, good technique.
And City begin to build up from the back. Let's go down quickly to Tim Morgan, who's got some news out of the sheds. Tim, and hang on just a moment, perhaps. Little ball over the top for Shaughnessy. Grozos settles. Tim. Fantastic. Well, he might 5-6 offsides, including the disallowed goal. Wilmering outside. Clayton Taylor drives it in hard. Grozos with Will Dobson. Had one sighting on goal. He's already got 3 goals this season. It's been a breakout campaign for Will Dobson. Here he goes again. It falls to Lockie Rose. Oh, his pass was under hit for Bertolicio.
It is clear Melbourne City have been asked to go and be more intense and have more intent going forward, but can they match Newcastle Jets? They just replied in the last couple of minutes with, OK, you want to step up the intensity? So will we.
Bertolicio turns inside. Dobson, the little one too. Here's Burgess. Bertolicio again. Burgess, that's a good ball. Oh, Clayton Taylor, the first time pass. It's a good idea.
Well, you just love to see somebody take a little bit more ownership there. You're inside the D, you've got a ball to your feet, touch forwards, go and have a hit. It's as simple as that for Clayton Taylor. And they're trying to be a little bit too cute at times.
It looks as though Mark Milligan has decided it's time for a change as well. Just Van Stratton, the goalkeeping coach, giving the individual set-piece instructions to Lockie Bayliss and Kota Mizunuma. Aurelio Vidmar has gone for the jacket at half-time as it gets cooler and cooler here. Lockie Bayliss started the last game. A 3-1 win away in Auckland. Suprail with Schreiber. Oh, it's under hit. Cohen's been robbed by Dobson. Oh, he's done brilliantly. Will Dobson still is the right side. He's dragged to the ground, stays on his feet somehow. Dobson crosses. It's still there. Clayton Taylor. Wilmering still. Lockie Rose, first time ball. Taylor, oh, he was looking for Burgess. They just can't fashion out that shot at the end of all this intricate play, the Jets.
But it is coming, and I thought maybe the referee would have gone to a notebook there, because Will Dobson, you've got to give him a round of applause for staying on his feet and continuing and wanting to go forward. Such is the attitude that nothing's going to drag them down, the Newcastle Jets. They just want to roll forward.
Now Kai Trewin over the top. Andreas Cohen. The cut back again. Oh, Grozos was good there. The flag does go up again, so that message hasn't got through.
You've got to give credit to Newcastle. It is the high line, but if the coach has said that at halftime, which he would have, you just can't get it wrong. You're better off letting that ball go into that zone and make a late run and then go and put pressure, because the game gets stopped, and then you give Newcastle a chance to come back in the game and keep possession.
Here's Mark Natta as Andreas Cohen looks to close down. Clayton Taylor drifting into a little bit of space. City with so many numbers back, so well organised defensively, the best defence in the land last season. Eli Adams cross cleared. He goes again. Shaughnessy and Grozos. A little miscommunication between the two of them. Alicio all the way back to Delianov eventually. You could hear that call. Oh, completely missed by Aziz Bayes. That's a rare one. 3-on-3. The early ball is a good one for Clayton Taylor. Oh, he's missed it. What an opportunity. It was a brilliant pass from Eli Adams. And Clayton Taylor, who's been in great form in recent weeks, blasted it over with just the keeper to beat.
Yeah, Bayes missed that one completely. And Adams, what about the pass with the outside of the foot? German Ferreira just doing enough to put him off, and that's going to be his last action. Eli Adams, it's a really nice pass forward. They could not capitalise.
That's the best we've seen from Eli Adams this afternoon. It wasn't his most outstanding performance in a Jets jersey this season. Costa Grozos has also made way. Have a look at this pass again.
And just check out the defending. That little touch there is the reason why he has to hurry the shot, and he puts it over the bar, and he did not get plugged for a foul because he kept it quiet and he kept it professional.
So Bayliss and Kota into the game. Eli Adams and Costa Grozos making way, so Max Burgess has inherited the captain's armband. As back we go to Delianov. Joe Shaughnessy, the Irishman. Most recently played for Dundee. Spent most of his career, nearly all of his career in Scotland, the former Irish under-21 international. Bertolicio with Burgess. Dobson. Burgess able to turn. Here's Natta. Wilmering opening up on this left-hand side. It's a good ball to take out Mehmeti. Taylor. Burgess again. Oh, Dobson going for the flick, and it's come unstuck, and Jurakovic can get away, and that's going to be... Well, that is almost a red, you know, because it was so obvious and could have been dangerous. It's a professional foul. It's a yellow card for Bertolicio. A dark yellow.
Well, this is what we're talking about. Give away possession. The team has the advantage. I think you're right, Robbie. I think you're absolutely spot on. And that's why Aziz Bayic goes out, because you can hurt someone doing that. It's not about stopping the play. It doesn't look so bad from that angle, but he has a swing at the leg, and anything can happen. The way you fall. Yeah, it's a dodgy one.
Wilmering sets off after that one. Atkinson will get there first. Can he keep it in? He can. Here's Schreiber. Got a couple of changes coming from Melbourne City now as well. Atkinson, low cross, not a bad ball. Delianov with the save. We've got Max Caputo and Alessandro Lopane preparing to come into the game. Alessandro Lopane, who's been missing much of the season, at the end of last year with an ankle problem. There you see the live ladder, a draw that sees City climb above Brisbane, but a win will bring them 2 extra points and see them above Macarthur, while for Newcastle they climb up to just outside the 6. St. Schreiber makes way for Alessandro Lopane, and it's Andreas Kuhn who comes off for Max Caputo. So Medin Mehmeti is heading left, I think. Mehmeti and Emin Jurakovic just showed the 2 hands up to the coach. Number 10 for me, is it? Not bad for the youngster.
What does it mean for Andrew Naboot? I think it means him playing out on the right-hand side, where I think he's going to get joy playing off Max Caputo. I'd love to see these 2 combined, because that forward run just hasn't worked for him tonight, Andrew Naboot.
Just a bit too quick to get away with it, get rid of the ball there, Caputo. He had runners all alongside him. Mehmeti looking for Max Caputo, just overhit.
It actually might help Melbourne City having Max Caputo making that forward run. He's not as quick and maybe just not as sharp upstairs in terms of his development yet. Naboot knows where to run, when to run.
Well, one back by Truan.
But I'd love to see him continue to make that run, because that's what's required, just to slow it down a little bit in that final movement, that final decision as well.
There's changes for City coming just after the hour mark, so still plenty of time left in this one. Lopane. Very talented young player, Alessandro Lopane, who started out life playing a more attacking role at Western Sydney. He's been played as a 6 and an 8 by Aurelio Vidmar. You see him sitting alongside Kai Truan now at the base of that midfield. It's a good ball in behind, but Clayton Taylor won't get there.
Haven't seen many of those this evening, those threaded passes in between the fullback and the central defender. And it's because those lines have been pretty set, pretty solid, but yeah, that midfield plug's so important now for Melbourne City to gain the control in the middle, because Newcastle Jets are just springing onto everything as well.
Good strength from Mehmeti to find Bajic. Here's Suprayon. Ferreira with Naboot for Atkinson. Lopane charging forward, the cross in, dealt with comfortably enough by Natta. Foul on Dobson by Lopane.
It's a bit of a lazy cross that from Nathaniel Atkinson. His one a couple of minutes ago was superb. And once he got into that position again, I just thought he's going to whip this one right across the first post.
Mehmeti inviting Atkinson forward again. An ambitious effort.
Yeah, just that one there. If he beats that first man, Max Caputo knows exactly where that ball and that run should come from. But well done, Will Dobson again, getting the Jets out of trouble.
By Truan. Very nicely done. Lopane. Good switch of play for Naboot. His cross, back post, oh, great ball. Perhaps just too close to the byline. No one could get there in time. Burgess with Dobson. The youngster accelerates. Mizunuma beaten to it by Kai Truan. It's an enormous amount of work, Kai Truan, in the middle of the park. The challenge from Berdalisio gives it back again. Burgess with Mizunuma. Made such an impact last season when he arrived. His set-piece delivery, the Japanese winger. His combination with L.A. Rose up front. Wilmering keeps it alive, but Ferreira is there. Lockie Bayliss with Mizunuma. Great little return ball. Bayliss. Mizunuma in support. It's another little 1-2. That one a little bit more difficult to pull off. So good as is Bajic. Outstanding again. Caputo. Back to goal against Natta. Still great pressure coming all over the park. Oh, Lockie Rose, he's robbed Ferreira. Rose, the shot and the goal! He runs to the travelling supporters. Lockie Rose, and his 6th of the season. And Newcastle have struck again. Away from home, they have the lead, and it's theirs to lose now.
Well, Lockie Rose is in red-hot form. Now the outright top scorer of the A-League. And it was a mistake from Melbourne City, trying to play out, trying to keep possession. And it was just great work from Lockie Rose on the Harvey Norman replay. He just pinches the pocket of German Ferreira. They've been waiting for an opportunity to present itself this evening. And Lockie Rose as well gives Patrick Beach the eyes and goes the other side. It's a fabulous finish from the goal scorer. That's 3-2 now. And you wonder if Melbourne City have got it in them to get one back. It's a great goal.
Changes coming. Lockie Rose, he must have known. There's a smile on the face of Mark Milligan with his last touch of the match. As he makes way, Clayton Taylor also coming off. Ben Gibson is into the fray, and so is Xavier Bertoncello. Oh, what a season Lockie Rose is having. 8 last year. 6 now in this campaign. He got just 9 in total at MacArthur. He might well eclipse that in this single season.
If he's going to be the number 9 for the Newcastle Jets, the way they've been scoring, he will be getting double digits, 100%. And it was that game where he had to wait. That first half was hardly involved, the second as well. And that shows how good he is and how good his form is. Waiting, he was cold, and then when he had to score, bang, he put it in.
Clinical finish as well at the near post. Here's Naboot now. City back chasing the game. Naboot's ball all the way across the face of goal. Bertolicio kicks it into the legs of Mehmeti and wins the throw. And the away sides in this fixture continue to dominate over the last 4 years. The home team has not won since February 2022. It looks like it could well be heading that way again. Last season it was Lockie Rose in the 69th minute. He's got in early today, 2 minutes earlier. Ferreira, a rare mistake from the Argentine, who's had a really good season so far. Atkinson almost tackling Lupane.
It does beg the question, did he want that pass coming into him? They turned out of midfield and played it straight into his feet, and most of the time, 99% of the time, he handles that situation, and that's all it takes. And that's why you do ask the question sometimes, you know, why are you playing out in that area when you've got players facing forward with the bit between their teeth to try and win the ball back?
Atkinson with Lupane. Atkinson got it back, perhaps a little fortunately. Kai Truan gives it away. Mizunuma with Dobson. That pass just a little under hit. Here's Bajic now. Melbourne City. Do they have the firepower up front? Do they have the players capable in current form and in current formation to open up this side? Because it hasn't been happening so far. Scoreless against Sydney, scoreless against Melbourne Victory, scoreless against the Mariners, Brisbane. The goals have been hard to come by, and they need at least one just to avoid defeat here. Bertolicio does well against Aziz Bajic.
That's the question now. What do Melbourne City do? What do Newcastle Jets do? We talked about that live ladder. Newcastle sneaking their way in, getting in front of Melbourne City. That's exactly what they wanted, to come to Amy Park and get another result, but they are not taking a backward step. You can be sure of that. They'll continue to try and press for that second goal, and perhaps over the long piece for Mark Milligan, that might ask a few questions later on down the path, but for now, that's what we want to see.
Lawrence Wong coming into the game, just his second appearance of the season as he works his way back from that knee injury to full fitness. Emin Jurakovic, another good 72 minutes from him as he continues his apprenticeship at the very highest level in this country. Gibson, touchdown for Bayliss. Here's Mizunuma. Lawrence Wong has gone into that most advanced midfield 3 position. There he is, looking to put the pressure on Delianov. Here's Nata. City go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Patrick Beach. Kai Truan. Bajic back again. Great pressure from the Jets. If they can keep just a second clean sheet of the season, and we don't want to speak too soon. Bertoncello giving chase. Referee says nothing illegal in that challenge. Rubbing is racing.
He kept his feet with the first contact just here. There was a little bit of contact and he kept going there. And I dare say it, if he would have gone down, there might have been a different argument. But he did well to stay on his feet and then decided that he'd ran out of space and time. So it was the wrong decision in the end from Atkinson. But good defending from Bertoncello, not to give up on it.
Just to continue on the home team curse. The home team's failed to score in the last 5 of this fixture. The last 3 have finished 1-0 to the away side, so this could be a 6th scoreless home team performance and a 4th consecutive 1-0 win for the away side, unless things change in the next 16 minutes plus stoppages.
And that's the thing for Melbourne City, is that bringing Lawrence Wong on, who's had just the 1 appearance, which was last week, you basically are effectively saying, with 20 minutes, go and win us the game. And that's the bigger conversation around the league at the moment, with the youthfulness of it and the pressure on the kids. And they're put into this cauldron now, and some are handling it, some aren't. But it is a lot to ask of someone like Lawrence Wong. Go in and go and score us a couple of goals.
Here's Burgess, back to Delianov. Confident ball, if we can put it that way, for Wilmering. Wasn't too far away from Andy Naboot. Here's Mark Natta. He finds Ferreira. Lupane, Ferreira again. The Jets players still charging around. What could be a factor in this final 15 minutes now is the fact that the Jets haven't played in 10 days. Melbourne City playing their 6th match in 3 weeks. They've been playing twice a week. Oh, as here is Lawrence Wong. Just misses at the near post.
Big opportunity in an important zone on the pitch. He was looking for the pass and putting his arm out to Aziz Bajic and said, play it earlier. And if it would have been, it would have given him a better chance to try and hit that one on target.
Another talented youngster. He's come through the entire Melbourne City development pathway, from the football school to the Melbourne City Academy. He joined at just 12 years of age. That is one thing that City have done very well, is bring these kids through. Got his first goal last year, a winner against Perth, and a 1-0 victory here. Here's Suprayon. Wong again. No pressure from Bajic. Ferreira. Ferreira. Naboot turning and facing forward. Lupane takes over. Here's Atkinson. Back for Andrew Naboot. Bertoncello's header. Truan. Straight into Dobson. Lupane. Atkinson. Lupane had to just stop a second to bring it back. It needed to have a bit more in it. Atkinson is trying to stretch out his groin as well. There are some tired bodies out there, particularly for Melbourne City.
It's got to be a chance. They've got to create a chance here. Melbourne City, they've got some tall numbers in there. Ferreira, Suprayon, he hit the post in the first half. Can he go even closer here?
Jess Van Stretton screaming instructions for the marking at the back from this set piece. Lawrence Wong delivers. Delianov comes and punches. Back in. Nata. Mizunuma. Has Bajic slipped? It's back in. Oh, to the back post. Caputo scurries after it. Squares it. And Shaughnessy clears the danger.
There's going to be a lot of pressure now. A lot of pressure building. I'm not sure the Newcastle Jets are equipped to handle it or keep Melbourne City from keeping coming and coming, because they're desperate to get that goal. They really are.
Free kick given away by Caputo. There was a bit of holding on before that, before Bertolicio goes to ground. Dobson changing his shirt after the collar. Just got ripped off the last one. Got to be looking your best on the big stage.
Well, it has been that sort of performance for Dobson this evening. He's had to get stuck in, and he's got through a lot of work, taking tackles, and there's another one.
Strong contact between Burgess and Atkinson. I think Atkinson may have come off second best there. He's been certainly more attacking in the last 15 minutes as urgency calls for that. But the Jets, Lockie Bayliss leading that press in midfield since he's come on. Dobson, the youngsters, got through a mountain of work as well. Max Burgess, not traditionally a number 6, here he is again. But he is such a leader in this side, so necessary as well.
Prime example, looking for the ball, getting on it, deciding to go back to calm it down. He controls the tempo, and I think without Badalato, it's even more apparent tonight that he has to steady the ship for the Jets in the middle of the park. No Grozos there as well at the moment.
Here's Mizunuma, looking to win it back off Wong, and has done. Won the throw. Couple of changes coming again for Melbourne City. It's going to be Liam Bonatig coming on, and Ben Matseo as well, who's shaken off that quad niggle that's kept him out the last couple of weeks. Dobson for Mizunuma. They're double teamed on that side. Dobson, oh, it's a great run. Dobson flips it up towards Bertoncello. So close. Oh, we've spoken so often about how good this kid looks, but that was more good play from young Dobson.
To get things right inside the box is so difficult, and even more so when you're a youngster, because every ounce of you wants to have a reaction, or to play the first thing that you see, or have a strike at goal. And that just comes down to great awareness, comes down to great coaching, and just having that calmness and understanding. So the understanding at such a young age is really shining through.
Suprayon, who will not be risked any more than need be. He's had problems with hamstrings. He comes off for Liam Bonatig. And Mehmeti comes off as well for the introduction of Ben Matseo. Scored his first ever goal against the Jets, Matseo. Bertoncello rides that challenge. Gibson, oh, it was just behind him. He could have gone down the line rather than into his feet, as is Bajic. Naboot, who's switched to the left now. Andrew Naboot with Aziz Bajic. Matseo at the back post. Naboot into the area. It's another corner. The 5th of the evening for Melbourne City.
Super timing from Bertolicio. Gets it right this time. He's been under the pump on that right-hand side.
All 5 substitutions made by Melbourne City. We saw the other night that came back to get them with their 3 windows, because they had an injured Kanamori and an injured Rahmani who couldn't receive treatment. Now Dobson is down. And the doctor has been called on, so Dobson is going to have to come off, at least momentarily, having received treatment, which will leave them defending this corner with just 10 players. A change is about to be made as well. It looks like Alex Nunez, who scored in the cup, well, there you see, he's just run out of steam. Dobson.
Yeah, looks goosed when he should be. He's been everywhere.
The corner is taken. Wong. Here's Lopane. His shot blocked. Bajic onto the left. Blocked again by Gibson. Matseo gives chase. He'll let it go out for another corner.
That should never happen from a corner. That was all too easy for Melbourne City. There's 2 out now. They're still wondering to go out or not, the Jets.
Substitution coming with Dobson, who'd already left the field of play. Nunez comes on. They've survived one hairy moment from that last corner. They don't want to do it again with a player down. Nunez in and immediately sends Bertoncello back in to the middle to do the marking on Matseo. They have to be careful here. It's a little bit disorganised. Wong's ball in, the touch, back post. Cleared by either Shaughnessy or Delianov, one of the two. And they survive again. Bajic. Too close to Delianov.
He wants that clean sheet. And it had to be an important save, this one, because it looked as though it hung up in the air and he had to get a piece of it. I think Shaughnessy was just trying to offer some protection in between himself and Andrew Naboo. That's good defending.
And there was a good punch from Delianov as well to get it clear. Bonatic only just into the action. Look at the press coming from the Jets still. 5 minutes to go. They're up by a goal. But they're still trying to play this game in City's half of the field. It's 3-on-3 at the back. Here it comes, and Natta does well. Beach with Bonatic. Ferreira back to his goalkeeper, Lopane. Again, they're painting themselves into a little bit of a corner here. The Jets players continuing to work so hard. Beach in the end just goes long. Shaughnessy, well won in the air. Lopane, second phase ball for Atkinson. Ball through the middle for Caputo. And Delianov diving on the grenade.
It didn't explode. Atkinson just wouldn't sit down, and Caputo tried to run in behind. There was a little bit of space there for him. But the back line for the Newcastle Jets today have been superb in their timing and their bravery in keeping that high line and allowing Delianov to come forward.
Here's Matseo against Wilmering. The cross in, Caputo in the air. Delianov again. Let's have a look at the Paramount Plus player index as it sits with 4 minutes left. Lockie Rose, whose goal separates the two sides. He robbed Ferreira, who's still there in third place. It was a costly miss. Oh, and that's a good ball. Here they go. Bertolicio through on goal, off the crossbar. Stunning strike. They claim that Beach got a touch on it. Well, the Jets were so close to game, set and match.
Oh, how good's the pass from Ben Gibson to get forward. That would have been all over Red Rover if that would have gone in.
Here's Wong again. Just not enough pace on the passing still. With the defensive effort from the Jets. Mark Milligan encouraging his side to continue to give every single ounce of energy they have. They lost their first two away matches. before winning the next 3. The Newcastle Jets have never won 4 in a row away from home. They have 2 minutes plus stoppages to hold on. Naboot with Bajic. Wong could have turned out, looks back on that left-hand side for Bajic still. Wong again. Kai Truan. Space here for Naboot. He just got caught in 2 minds. It's one for Gibson to chase. He's got pace. Will he have too much for Ferreira? Excellent defending from the Argentine.
Well, he didn't get that one wrong. He doesn't get much wrong, to be fair. But it's really interesting watching Newcastle Jets defending. They're all on the front foot. And there's 2 ways to defend, but you've got to understand what everybody else behind you is doing. They're all on the same page, which is why they're keeping City out of the game so far.
Atkinson, who was lunging for that one. Referee, he's got to be careful here, Atkinson. He's sitting on 4 yellow cards this season. Casey Rybelt wants a word to him about that challenge. He caught Lockie Bayliss. Well, there's nothing too wrong with that, to be fair.
Just might have been the angle that referee saw the studs raised. He did get a little piece of the ball too.
It's all the more frustrating when there's less and less time left. Atkinson.
So that's the official has set a limit of 4 minutes additional time. 4 minutes.
Wilmering. Ferreira's header. Burgess. Gibson. Here's Bayliss. You throw a blanket over nearly 3/4 of the players on the pitch there. There's no space. There's barely been any space all game. We've had a clash of heads here. Lawrence Wong has gone down, so has Shaughnessy. That looked a painful one.
They're both players not protecting themselves, both watching the ball, but for Lawrence Wong that's going to be a bit worse off because it hits him right in the schnoz, right there. I'm surprised there's not been any blood so far.
Shaughnessy down, but it looks a little bit more concern around Lawrence Wong. Let's hope he's okay. The concussion rule, which could come into play, would mean one more substitution for both sides. I'm not sure who that would necessarily favour at this stage of proceedings. 4 minutes have been added on. That's going to be added on again once we get going again. There's what's coming up for Melbourne City. They're at home to Auckland, then away MacArthur and the Phoenix and the Western Sydney Wanderers before the next Melbourne derby, the final Melbourne derby of the season at home in round 18. That game against Auckland, their last of 7 consecutive home matches. While for Newcastle, Western Sydney Wanderers away, Phoenix at home, Brisbane at home, and then away to Adelaide on the 8th of February, and then a week later, Perth Glory away. Shaughnessy is ready to rejoin. I'm pleased to say so is Lawrence Wong. Both players do charge back onto the pitch. 90 seconds left in the original 4, but there's going to be a little bit more of that now. Truan. Naboot. Oh, excellent defending. Lockie Bayliss has been good since coming on. He hasn't been a bad player on the pitch for Newcastle so far.
It's been a team performance. defensively for Mark Milligan, and maybe people would have thought this is just an ultra-attacking team going forward and scoring goals, and the understanding is that we'll just try and score one more than the opposition. Well, they've only needed one tonight to get through this one, and they've looked really good, all on the same page. And when you like that, as we've seen in the A-League this season, if you're up for it, usually you go on to win all 3 points.
Matseo looks up, it's a good ball for Lupane. The cross, here is Lawrence Wong. It just wouldn't sit for him. Groans, agonising, down from the stands around Amy Park. Matseo. Fouled by Gibson. Well, he could be there to add to his 3 goals, Ben Gibson, but more than that, his job is to just defend and wind down the clock. It's all hands to the pump at the moment for the Newcastle Jets. City have just lacked that little spark today, that little bit extra. They've had the ball, over 60% possession. They've had the shots, 11-7, but just one on target. And that was from Medin Mehmeti in the first half that was saved. Outstanding save from Delianov. But other than that, they just haven't threatened enough.
Yeah, it's going to be the 5th game that they've drawn a blank this campaign, Melbourne City, and the team that won the grand final last year, it's hard to believe that they're not scoring more, they're not defending well enough over the 90-minute period. Yes, the Asia competition, it does throw you around a little bit, but now they've had a lot of light and a lot of time to get it right, and it's very surprising.
Long from Atkinson. Caputo and Matseo giving chase. The throw for City. Atkinson again, Matseo, they need the ball in. They need to get a good cross in here. Atkinson goes again. Matseo, the cross driven in low. It's there for Caputo, great block. Mark Natter again. Outstanding work defensively. Still the corner to come. One more chance for Melbourne City. Patrick Beach is charging forward. The goalkeeper, can he be the hero? Atkinson. Looked like that might have hit a hand of Wilmering. It was outside the box. Wong still going. Lawrence Wong. Lupane. Wong again. Down to the byline. Oh, across the face of goal. He hit it as hard as he could. So close for City, as is Bajic. We're in the 7th minute of stoppage time. The glancing header. Caputo's there. Look, Delianov with the save. Still it's alive. Atkinson blocked by Wilmering. Delianov again with the great save. And it's all over. The Newcastle keeper with the heroics. It's been a tough season for him, but he produced 2 great saves, including one right at the death there, to preserve a 2nd clean sheet of the season. Melbourne City pushed and pushed in that 2nd half, but it was too little too late. Lockie Rose with the goal midway through the 2nd half, robbing Herman Ferreira and then beating Patrick Beach with a cool head.
Just a super save, Robbie. Delianov all evening long has had to put himself in harm's way, getting down low, getting his 2nd clean sheet. Look what it means to him. It's a fabulous performance from the goalkeeper.
Great evening of football to wrap up the weekend. Lockie Rose, sole leading scorer in the Isuzu UTE A-League with 6 goals. Just as it was here a year ago, he gets the winner against Melbourne City. The away side wins again, all over at Amy Park. Melbourne City 0, Newcastle Jets 1. Well, let's have a look at the Alex Tobin points then at the end of this contest. James Delianov with those 2 outstanding saves. A great defensive performance, including from Mark Natter. But the match winner is Lockie Rose, his 6th of the season, and he's down there pitch side with Tim Morgan.